Finally, another video doorbell option that supports Apple HomeKit Secure Video. It's Aqara's new G4 video doorbell. And I am a huge fan of Aqara too. But spoiler alert, it's not worth buying. Just kidding. It totally is. Let's go talk about why. Oh man, there are not a lot of HomeKit secure video doorbell options out there, so when one comes out from a budding smart home company like Aqara, we tend to perk up, am I right? Hey, what's up? It's Andrew. Thanks for hanging out with me. On this channel, I talk about building a user-friendly smart home for everybody with Apple HomeKit and Amazon Alexa. On my channel, you'll find automation tips, tutorials, and product reviews like this one, so consider subscribing so you can check for more videos like this. I mean, look at this thing. It's humongous. I mean, I'll be honest, that was my first reaction about it. It just looks huge. But I was almost pretty excited because this is by far the most affordable video doorbell on the market today, at least, that supports HomeKit Secure Video. It definitely looks different than some of the other options out there. It's got this huge button, first of all, and the camera is just about the same size, and obviously that symmetry was probably on purpose. It's funny, as big as that button is, the symmetry with the camera might be a little weird for some people. I mean, I didn't expect this, but for about the first week or so after I installed this, nobody rang my doorbell. Now, I know what you're thinking, Andrew, nobody comes to your house anyway. Well, you're not wrong. I got most of my testing done with my son messing around with me on the front porch, and when eventually I did get visitors, they didn't even ring the doorbell. Maybe because people just like knocking these days. Or maybe they felt like they would need two hands to press that ginormous button. Now, likely people are more normal where you are, and this experience won't translate to you. And I mean, given my sample size, I have no idea if the size of the button had anything to do with it. I kind of just like poking fun of it. But you can't ignore how huge it is, am I right? So let's jump right into the features of this puppy. The G4 captures 1080p video at an aspect ratio of 16:9. The resolution shouldn't be surprising for the new camera. This supports HomeKit Secure Video after all, and it's still limited to only 1080. The video quality is good either way. The aspect ratio is another story. At 16:9, this has to be the absolute worst aspect ratio for a doorbell. You can't even see where the package was just delivered. This is just a terrible design choice for a video doorbell. And let's flash back to my review of the Wyze video doorbell, which you can catch in the link here. Although this didn't support HomeKit, it was a solid doorbell and had an awesome 4:3 aspect ratio. I guess it might depend on your space at your front door. If it's narrow like mine, 16:9 makes no sense, and 4:3 is perfect so you can see what is on the floor. Maybe exactly what you're using a video doorbell for. But maybe you want that wider view of your entire porch, so depending on your use case, this might work great for you. The video quality is even really good at night. And let me point out that this doorbell does not even have an integrated spotlight like some of those others out there, like the Wyze video doorbell or even the Logitech Circle View. This may not matter though, again, depending on your use case. For me, the video is still good, and even if I did want a light, I can use HomeKit to trigger an automation based on the motion detected to turn on my front porch lights. The Aqara G4 Doorbell was released recently at a price of about $120, but just like most Aqara products, you can probably snag one at a discount on Amazon like I did. So check the links in the video description so you can see what the latest pricing is. This is a doorbell, so it is IP rated for outdoor use. I do find it odd though that Aqara advises that this should be installed on a porch or in an other shaded area. So probably not completely weatherproof. Keep that in mind if yours isn't on a porch like mine with some overhead coverage. That's, if you ask me, a little strange for an outdoor camera. This does have some flexibility for install, as the doorbell can both be powered by your existing AC wiring or with the 6 included AA batteries, which last up to a claimed 4 months. Those batteries are also likely the reason for the size of this thing. I installed mine using the existing wiring, so I didn't even install the batteries. But you can also power the doorbell using both AC power and the batteries, and it'll utilize the batteries as a backup if your power goes out, which is a pretty cool option. Now, I do all my testing in HomeKit because I really only care about how well this works with HomeKit Secure Video. But holy cow, is this thing packed with features. It has local face recognition, and you can even enable automations based on whose face is detected. This is all done in the Aqara app. As you expect with an Aqara product, it is compatible with all of the ecosystems out there and with Matter support planned. But at least today, the release of Matter spec does not support cameras. It's nice to know that it's coming. You do get 7 days of free cloud storage, but like the other Aqara cameras, you can also record locally to an SD card or even to your local NAS. They like to point out that indoor chime repeater is included, which is interesting that they point this out, and I'll tell you why in a minute. It also has the ability to alert you based on certain activity, like loitering and tampering, and will even let you mask your voice when you're talking, you know, in case you're in witness protection, I guess. Pretty cool. Of course, most of these features are available only through the Aqara app, so if you're using this only in HomeKit like me, you can't take advantage of some of that cool stuff. But this hasn't felt like a limitation for me. I like having all of my cameras and automations under one centralized control. For me, for now, that's still HomeKit. I'll be missing out on some of those features, I guess. I'm not going to walk through the installation process because it is so simple, and Aqara doesn't even tell you how to install it, and I guess that's because they know how simple it is and they just assume you know. There is one thing some may not like about this doorbell though. This will not work with an existing mechanical wall chime like this, if you still have one in your house. Yet, this should not matter, and I'm going to tell you why. Instead, it works with that wireless indoor chime repeater that I mentioned, which you can choose your chime, which is a lot of fun. And for those who care, you can't just plug this thing into a wall outlet because it has a little USB-C power port for connection for power. Oddly enough, the doorbell comes with 6 AA batteries, but there's no power supply for the chime. They do include a cable, so you must provide your own power supply. And as I mentioned, the claim that the chime repeater is included is a little weird. This isn't just a chime repeater. It's the brains of the doorbell. You see, the chime is paired with the doorbell in the factory. There's a little sticker on the doorbell when you open it that tells you that. And the chime is what connects to your Wi-Fi. It's also where you install the SD card for continuous video recording. These are all also reasons why you have to install the wireless chime within 5 meters of the doorbell. So it's a good thing it's as loud as. And the fact that the SD card sits in the chime is a really clever design choice. The repeater should be placed inside your home, and this essentially protects your precious continuous recordings from theft. Sweet idea. Also, this chime needs power of its own, which makes me think moving the Wi-Fi to this chime is what allows this doorbell to be HomeKit Secure Video compatible. The HomeKit Secure Video requirements are pretty power demanding, and I think this is a way Aqara met those while keeping costs low. And as I mentioned earlier, this will also work with Madam A, and because of this, you can enable clever things like a routine that will announce on all of your echoes that someone is at your door. Although in my testing, I could not get this to work. I don't know if it's a limitation through the Aqara Alexa skill or something else. Maybe your results will be better. All right, we've seen how good the video quality is, and just for a quick audio test, this is what it sounds like from the microphone.
Now, I wouldn't go ahead and film a YouTube video using this microphone, but if I was a visitor at your front door, I think that this gets the job done. Not too bad.
Now, one thing we haven't talked about yet is the HomeKit integration. And honestly, that's because there isn't much to cover. This doorbell acts like any other camera in HomeKit. All of the typical features of HomeKit Secure Video are there. And if you're not familiar with HomeKit Secure Video, you should definitely check out this video here, and I'll give you more detail on why you should care about it. This is my first HomeKit supported video doorbell though, and I was surprised at how limited the automation options are. I can only use motion detected by the camera to trigger an automation. It's super weird that I can't use an action like the button press of the doorbell to do it. Seems like a really weird limitation of HomeKit. Even the doorbell itself, there is no option to trigger an action based on a button press. And HomeKit Secure Video is the killer feature for me because I still prefer HomeKit Secure Video if I really don't trust the cloud provider. And I don't trust the cloud provider most times. And they'll still record to that SD card. Just remember though, you need the Aqara app to set up the SD card once you install it. So if you do want to set up local SD card continuous recording of the video, and this is what I'm doing, you do need to configure this through the app before you restrict the internet access. Then, once you disable the internet access, you cannot access the doorbell through the Aqara app, which also means you lose some of the fun features like the ability to mask your voice. You also cannot access the footage from that SD card inside HomeKit. In the end, after living with this doorbell for quite some time, I really like this doorbell. It's the most affordable doorbell out there that supports currently HomeKit Secure Video, and it's jam-packed with features if you're willing to use the Aqara app. I left links to the G4 Doorbell and some of the other devices we talked about in the video description down below, so you can go check them out for yourself and get the current pricing. Simple, secure, and no additional monthly fees. That is a user-friendly smart home. Hey, thanks for watching. If you get any value from this video, please give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.